So thank you for coming today, whether you are live or on the replay. I am really excited to share this little presentation with you. What I wanted to come of this was that I wanted us to close the year on a high with more information than feeling like we may not have made as much money as we wanted to or did something wrong. So I named this today, Know Your Numbers, as the beginning of a series to talk about income, dealing with insurances, making more money, and understanding your patterns. So who am I and why should you listen to me? I'm a mom of two young adults. I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. I'm a powerful CEO who creates time and money freedom for others. I operate a boutique accounting firm that delivers stellar results. We are actively looking to work with clients who want to keep their money, not just make more money. There's various ways to reach me. We all have fun and we DM through, the apps. However, directly, you can always send me just a DM Profit. You can text me your information, and I also share my calendar link so that you have various ways to make sure to get in contact. Now, a lot of us are struggling on what to do with insurances. Should we accept insurance? Should we do private? Should we do this? Should we do that? Now, I've been hearing this a really long time, and there's so many different things to address here, and I just wanted to start from somewhere. What is the importance of numbers in a company decision making? Now, you're like, how does this reference, should I take insurance and my income? If we don't know our numbers, what we should do around insurance is going to become a lot harder. Insurances can change their rates till they're blue in the face. They could not reimburse us. However, if it's not working from us on so many levels, it really doesn't even matter the reimbursement level, because it could just be that it's not even your ideal client and you don't even deserve and you don't even enjoy working with that client. Now, working with a lot of mental health business owners, that's really what I constantly see. It's less about the insurance. It's more about who they want to work and the type of work that they want to do to be able to get the rates that they feel are worthy for them. Now, what is importance of numbers in company decision making? If you are here or you're on the replay, feel free to put in the chat and let me know what you think could be a factor in this. Now, you're seeing on my slides so that you do see the answer to this, but outside of reading them, if there's thoughts that are coming to you around this, I want you to tell me. Numbers reveal strengths and weaknesses, performance trends, and other intelligence for decision-making and problem solving. Now, numbers reveal strength, meaning if you multitask while you're doing your work, or if you have one payment plan for one client versus another, that's going to be a weakness. A strength is going to be somebody who fulfills your ideal client and that you are going to accommodate them and they are paying your full rate. You get to show up well, you get paid well, and there's no accounts receivable. Performance trends is like, how is it doing? Did you put a raise in or increase your rates and it's not working? I have a client of mine where he didn't raise his rates in like 25 years. And he was so happy with how much he was making, but in 25 years, he still didn't make any raise. So because he was still profitable, he felt like everything was okay. But when he wanted to grow, he was like, where is it going to come from? Other intelligence for decision making and problem solving. Now, decision making becomes really the big thing as an entrepreneur. What you should do next, what you should do, why you should do it, and how you should do it. Really, really problem solving. Now, a different client of ours, when she came on, her biggest problem was payroll. It really would keep her up at night. Really, once we looked at her issues with payroll, it was the spreadsheet that she was working from just had formulas that were so off that her numbers were really just not even on par because they were not calculated properly. She was saving money. So she couldn't problem solve really what the gap was when she was budgeting correctly. So all of these things come into factors on really the setup that will support your profit and you getting paid well as the business owner. The historical data is a valuable report card. Let's read that again. For overall business performance, it's like a report card for your business on how we're doing. Now, a lot of us take it to heart that we think that if we didn't make as much money, it's a reflection on us. But the business is separate from us. And it's a matter of how well we're listening to what our clients want and need. Hence, knowing your numbers on really what's working. Knowing our own patterns is really the name of the game of money freedom and money profit. It's not necessarily a matter of getting more money from the insurances. You can be already doing things that are working and that you don't need to work harder. It's more about intention. It's important for owners and shareholders and investors and bankers and all of this to really know this so that you can move your business forward. I'm actually going to tell you a different story. A client of mine years ago, a legacy client, when he came on, he had a whole bunch of retail stores and we were engaging together. It was around the real estate field. And what happened is that he said to me, Margot, I need to make more money. What ended up happening is that it wasn't around making more money. It was around systems and strategies that helped drive the profit. Once we did that, his profits increased at least 30%. And he was a guy who said to us, he was like, I need to make more money for my family and take care of this and take care of that. And ended up what happening was once he instilled into these systems, he ended up having that time. He wanted to go to Florida. He wasn't going to an apartment that he had for years. And he really was able to take time with his wife. Why do you need to be aware around your numbers? There's clarity and confidence. Are you done not knowing? Are you done being frustrated? Are you done also when you wake up in the morning and feeling like that the numbers own you? To get to the real question, how much is this problem costing you? So the step one is all monthly bookkeeping and accounting needs to be done so we can see current behaviors, be able to see the comparison and see the deeper picture. Now, when all the monthly bookkeeping and accounting is done, we really get to see the ebbs and flows of business. We see the current behaviors of what's happening and what's not happening, and really to compare and to get that deeper picture. It's not easy to sit and do this. And if you are part of our system of accounting services, what we do is we have 9 foundations. And one of them is calendar reminders that you're actually going to attend to on how you set yourself up for these things so that you really can work on this. Step 2, we look at a comparison between the previous years side by side and with a column for notes on why this is all happening. So we put a column next to it on why things are happening or why not happening, so that when you go back to it, you see where you were then and how you grew. Lots of times what people do is they shame themselves around this. And instead, when we put constructive notes on how we made the decision, it becomes a reference point. We take things out of our head and we put it onto the paper. The next part is we work on our goals. When we work on our goals, we know what the revenue is by area, expenses to run the business, the operations versus the jobs itself. Now, goals are so easy to say as I want to make $500,000 a year. I want to profit $50,000 more a year. But goals can also be how you want to show up. How do you want to be with your ideal client? I'm going to tell you a story. For the past few years, I noticed how a lot of clients are involved in the doing of the apps and the posting and the transactions, but they're not really working on the business and the beliefs and the patterns. So this year, I made a system around that so that people can have that upfront instead of realizing their profit at the end of the year that may have happened or may not have happened. Because once you do that at the end of the year, you can't take that back. So here we are at this point in the year, we have a chance to look at what happened and what we want to happen and start anchoring our steps to get there. From here is where I start to put the picture together, and I call it a business forward plan. Some people call this a business plan, which is another way of talking about it. We think and see more profit and income growth. We know where we stand. We're being able to see the salaries and measure and evaluate fixed versus variable costs. Now, I want to start from the bottom up. We evaluate fixed versus variable costs because things that you can't change, you have to plan around. For instance, light, electric, rent, mortgage, health insurance, things that are stagnant that are really the basis of living. Salaries can fluctuate, especially if you're paying hourly. We always like to keep up what we're giving people, but as long as we're integrity around in our agreement, that's really the most important. We always want to supersede what we did. However, we want to make sure that we're always in integrity. But thinking to see more profit and income growth and know where you stand, that's the business plan of the forward plan, to really see all of these aspects so that you can put it together and see the end goal, and then we work backwards from there. Income becomes so much easier when you do it this way, instead of feeling like another sale, another lesson, another session with somebody. Let me fight more with the insurance companies. Those things matter. However, it needs to flow into our whole plan so that it's not separate from our business, that it becomes a whole fluid flow of how you are running things. So the question is like, now you have all of this, and what is the next step? The next steps are usually, lots of times, people take this information and then they're like, oh, great, Margot, that was a lot. Thank you for today. I took some notes. I'm going to go try to implement it. It's up to you to decide either to keep what you have or to make the change. I can tell you, when I wanted to make the change for myself, I think it was like every year I'm making some type of change. But let's say my recent spurt, let's say around 5 years ago, I said to myself, if I don't look at this on a regular basis, it's going to own me versus me owning it and feeling like I have money freedom every day. So make the decision to make the change, and let me help you. Let me show you how much easier money could be without needing to worry about if the reimbursements came, if an extra $100 or $300, whatever it is, if they say that you have to give back the money, that we don't have to get bent out of shape, that we have a plan. I actually have a story here that I want to share around a different client of mine. When he started this process, he was doing his job on the side of his W-2. And I get goosebumps thinking about this story, because when he told me, I was like, wow. His company, the bonus structure changed, and he didn't even flinch. And he would have, on that bonus structure, he would have lost, it was like a good 35%. It was a lot of money. He knew the leverage that he can take in his business now that he was losing on his bonus structure of what supported his family. His backup plan was right there to save him. And he didn't even flinch. He just went to his plan. He upped his activities for the day so that he didn't have to sacrifice his family and his mental health overall. It was really the coolest thing to watch it in action, because seeing somebody take what they know about their business and leveraging it and not worrying is the best miracle for any family to have. So, as I shared with you before, when you are ready, I would love for you to let me know. These are the various ways that you can contact me. And even if you want to just talk and say hello, and you're listening to this, respond and let me know your feedback. Was this helpful? Is there something specific that you want to see? There's a series of different things that I want to share around this topic, but knowing your numbers is the first step. Going back to the business forward plan, where it comes together, think about that a little bit, of where to see more profit and income growth, but also see it that when you wake up every day, that you have a thirst and a love for this, because there's nothing worse than waking up to a business that you don't like and that you dread. Here I am on a Sunday recording this because I love what I do. I love serving my mental health business owners, and I wanted you to close the year and have, for the beginning of the year, a way to have information to support you in every way. So any questions, as always, let me know. I hope you enjoyed today, and I look forward to talking to you more.